pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is, when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells, and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion, or you think a concussion has occurred.
Yeah. The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, and I think we can make this game, our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.
Boom, we're live.
Boom, we're live.
Episode 47, boys. Almost hit a year of MMA Complete. You're watching MMA Complete, brought to you by Fans Only Sports, Naked Sports, and also presented by our new sponsor, Odyssey Group International, who in the advertisement that you saw to begin the show is revealing or promoting their newest concussion prevention drug, Prevacol. So thank you, Odyssey Group, for being the sponsor, and you'll hear another word from them in a couple minutes. But for MMA Complete, today is May 20th. We just saw a great pay-per-view last weekend, and we have another great fight night. And the reason this is a good fight night coming up is because one or two of the fights that was supposed to happen last week is now happening this week that we're really excited about. So do you guys want to jump into what we think about this week coming up, or do you want to talk about UFC 262 first?
We got to do that recap.
We got to
do that fucking recap.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Charles Oliveira is the new lightweight champion. Oh, welcome, Chris. Chris's first time on MMA Complete.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Go check out Bet the Deed, where Chris also made an appearance. Bet the Deed podcast every Thursday night at 7, MMA Complete every Thursday night at 8. Charles Oliveira. What a wild fight that was.
Hey,
that
was
we called it.
That was some of the most intense 6 minutes.
Yeah.
6 minutes that we've seen in a main event in a long time. Because the whole first round was action-packed. The whole first round.
Yeah.
And then there was, 18 seconds in the second round? And that was obviously action-packed.
Nah, he clipped him 6 seconds into the second round, and it was over 10 seconds after that. So
it was like 15 seconds in the second round.
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira did a really good job capitalizing on that check.
Listen, Chandler said it best in his interview. And props to Chandler, by the way, because he handled his post-fight interview with fucking respect. Yeah, and he was total class act.
Wasn't pissed, He's definitely more. It made him more motivated. Yeah, he definitely.
So, what happened in the first round? We're going to recap the fight right now, so we could talk about why the post-fight interview meant something. First round started, and it was just a little bit of feeling each other out with dirty boxing for the first minute and a half, and then I can't remember how it happened, but Oliveira went for the takedown.
Yep.
And then Oliveira, I think he got the takedown.
Mm-hmm.
And then Chandler switched right to his back right away.
Yeah, and he started standing up. Well, what happened, Zach, was Oliveira went for the takedown. Couldn't get it in traditional style, so he wrapped her on the side and jumped onto Chandler's back. And that's when Chandler said, "Oh, you want to take my back?"
Right.
And did the craziest fucking launch
Chandler
in the air.
stood up with Oliveira still legs locked on Chandler's back and just dropped him, hoping that he would maybe land on Oliveira's head or something and knock him out. But it just put him in an even worse position. And props to Chandler, because Oliveira, three-time?
Third degree
jiu-jitsu black belt, who had both legs hooked and the arms around the neck, not locked in a rear naked, but arms around the neck for a good minute and a half.
Yeah.
And he could not get the submission in.
Chandler's
after
insane.
about a minute and a half, Chandler just sweeped it into full guard.
Yeah, he really did. He just turned.
And
He's so muscular and dense.
And after that, Chandler started beating him up on the ground. Beating him up.
He had the fight right there. It looked like it was over.
And then they stood up, and Chandler rocked Oliveira. Rocked him to the point that Herb Dean could have stopped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was bobbing and weaving
was it
on
Dan
the ground.
Ragliotta?
He was definitely rocking.
Might have been Big Dan.
There was some new referees in this.
There was a new crop of referees. And for the most part, I thought the pay-per-view was refereed pretty well throughout the whole thing. But anyway, so Chandler rocked Oliveira. About a minute left into the first round, and they were still standing, and Chandler got to a point where he was beating Oliveira while Oliveira was on the ground. It did not get stopped, but at the end of the first round, Chandler was definitely favored. Oliveira was bloodied up already. And then that was basically the end of the fight. Second round, I mean,
10 seconds in,
they came into it, and you could tell Chandler was super pumped up, and he was feeling himself, and he wasn't thinking, and he got caught by a nasty left hook by Charles Oliveira.
He
did rush in.
He thought he was still hurt. Everybody thought
Oliveira was
still hurt, and when it goes to show when these fighters, don't matter who you are, when you rush in,
you're gonna get clipped.
You could get clipped.
That's a great fact.
So Oliveira had a left hook in literally the first 5 seconds of the second round, dropped Chandler, and then 10 seconds later it was over. Oliveira won by TKO. And Oliveira was the most excited person I've ever seen in MMA.
It was great. Honestly, that won me over as
not only did he dance around in the UFC, but he jumped over the cage and got in Joe Rogan's face, gave him a high five, then went out to the crowd, celebrated with his friends, and then came into the hug Dana. And then he came in and he was dancing and crying as he was getting the belt. It was really great to see Oliveira because you could tell how much it meant to him. And I mean, obviously it did. He was he had the longest win streak of someone to never have a title shot.
Yeah.
That was his 9th win in a row now.
I think so, other than Tony Ferg, who had 12 wins in a row.
I think it was active.
Oh,
but
active,
you're right. Tony did have
he does have the longest active win streak right now at 8.
9.
Is it 9 now?
It's 9. Because in our co-main event, we saw Beneil Dariush get his 8th win in a row.
I thought it was 7th, but
I think it was 7th, Austin. But
it might have. Okay, 7th.
Charles, I think, has this 9th.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So Beneil Dariush beat Tony Ferguson in probably the most disappointing fight of the night.
Dominantly.
Tony Ferguson should fight.
Beneil Dariush was dominated Tony Ferguson. Beneil Dariush dominated Tony.
He just got beat.
But
so did Chandler.
Yeah, but no, Tony does not deserve Chandler.
Yeah, but Chandler, that's only his second fight in the UFC.
But one of those fights was
right. But Tony's now ranked like 8th, and Chandler's ranked 4th.
That's what I mean. His first, I think Tony
Hooker is the match to make versus Tony Ferguson.
I think Cerrone.
He had a good take. Cerrone is the fight.
Cerrone, okay, either one of those guys.
Well, that's been a fight that's been going around Twitter a lot because it gives you two things. One, it gives Tony hopefully an easy win to come back, and 2, it gives Cerrone the farewell that he deserves.
Yeah,
because Cerrone's going to be out soon.
Yeah, Cerrone's much less of a quality fighter than Ferguson was, in these past few years. But, if there's one person to send him out, Tony would be a good person.
Right. But there's a couple things you could say about that fight. You could say that they're just giving Tony an easy win to get him back, and how fair is it really? And then you could also say if Cerrone wins, Tony's done.
Yeah, Tony is done if he loses.
Tony's one fight away from being done. And listen, it was eerily similar to his loss against Oliveira. He got caught in a bad submission in the first round. Didn't tap.
Yeah.
He actually got out of it because Oliveira, the round ended, finished it.
Yeah.
But Beneil Dariush had Tony in a nasty leg lock. Nasty. And Tony, to his credit, some tore in his leg. His definitely
ankle.
tore.
Definitely ligaments torn in his ankle or something.
But while Tony's left leg was wrapped, he used his right leg to kick the grip of Dariush.
Yeah, it was
and break the hold.
It was
crazy.
It surprised the hell out of all of us.
And then for the next 2 rounds, Dariush he Khabib'd him.
He
Khabib'd him. He didn't throw any shots on the ground, but he just dominated him on position.
I think he had the strength and weight advantage, which really made a big deal, and a stronger wrestling base than Tony Ferguson. Because while Tony Ferguson is such a unique fighter, the way he rolls on the ground, he fights off of his back. He doesn't fight dominant on top.
This
in
fight,
MMA.
if it proves anything, proves that Khabib would have washed Tony.
Yeah.
It would have been
Washed him.
so
It wouldn't
bad.
it wouldn't even been close.
After seeing Gaethje beat him standing, and then Oliveira beat him on the ground, and then Darush beat him on the ground,
Yeah.
Tony looks like a different fighter than what we saw him 2 years ago. Point blank, end of story.
He is, 36 now?
37.
38. I think, yeah, he's up
He's
there. He's
37.
really up there.
He's at the end of the road, man.
So unfortunate for Tony. We did see Caitlin Chukagian and Vivian Araujo have a really good fight.
Called that fight very
Women's
good.
flyweight
Yeah.
division. It went to a decision. Chukagian won it by split decision.
Yeah.
Araujo had a great
It was
rear
unan-
naked choke attempt in the second round, but after that, completely gassed herself
Yeah.
out. And then the third round was all Chukagian.
It was surprising. I thought it was a unanimous decision.
Yeah, we all thought that.
Yeah.
That was the one.
No, I thought what was it, Araujo?
Yeah, I think we all thought it was 29-28. Araujo won
I
the
thought,
second
I
round.
thought Araujo won the first round, and then Chukagian won the second and third, but they gave all 3 rounds to her. So
No, I think it was a split. Oh, you know what? You're right. They did give a unanimous because we were talking about that.
That's
that
what
was
I mean. We
questionable.
thought it was going to
felt-
be a split.
I
It felt like
it
a
should have been a split,
but
I think.
Chukagian did dominate.
the third round
Mhm.
clearly, and
Yeah,
the
that
second
was a
round. I
great
mean,
third.
she couldn't even move. The other Araujo couldn't even move.
2 other fights to talk about.
Matt
Barboza.
Let's get it out of the way. We're
Oh,
not
yeah,
going to talk
okay.
about match. No, we're not.
No,
even
we're
gonna
not
talk
talking
about
about
match.
Fuck him.
First of all, we might have seen another career ender because Jacare Souza's shoulder got broken
So
Ooh,
bad.
by
that's
Andre
right.
Muniz.
It was so sad.
Matt Schnell, love you.
Andre Muniz had a good performance. He
Yeah,
did
just
really
win.
well against Jacare.
Yeah.
And he got put into that weird, like he was on Jacare's back and Jacare flipped him over him, but he held the arm into almost like a reverse arm triangle and he
Yeah.
popped the shoulder out. And it was hard to see, but it was beautiful
Did he
technique
pop
by
the
Muniz.
shoulder? Or
I
did
think
he break
he
it?
broke his forearm. No discredit to Muniz and his form or anything, but Jacare is mainly to blame for getting caught in that submission. 'cause
Yeah.
He, like you said, he held on. He
Mhm.
didn't pull it out, drop the elbow like he was supposed to.
He pulled out so that Muniz's his butt was basically over Jacare's head, but then he didn't try to extend and get out of it and like stand up. He just stood there, and Muniz held onto his arm, and then when Jacare tried to explode and go out, his arm just came out.
Yeah.
So Jacare is going to be out for a while, and that might have been his last fight.
He's
He's
41.
41.
Yeah.
Andre Muniz, though, props to him, and we'll be seeing him soon. We can see him against other great jiu-jitsu fighters in the middleweight division. I think he'll be good.
Also an underdog that we picked, so very good.
Yes, and another underdog we picked, Edson Barboza.
That's
Oh, boy.
I think that was the
Barboza.
fight of the night, by the way, boys. I really do. Barboza Burgos.
I think so.
And
I
one, of
don't
the,
know.
one of the weirdest knockouts.
That
I've
main
ever seen.
event was just so wild.
Dude, it's
It
like
was.
Until the end.
It was.
We didn't know we thought his foot was bleeding. There was a gash in his shin.
Barboza's
Yeah.
leg
From
kicks on
throwing
Burgos.
So many leg kicks.
That's
man.
what Barboza is known for.
Right.
His leg kicks and his high
and his
kicks.
spinning kicks were
Yeah.
nasty too. But at the
Yeah.
end of the round, in like the middle of round 3, the fight was just barely under the 2.5 mark.
Mhm.
At that moment, we saw Burgos and Barboza getting a little exchange, and then as Burgos backed off, he caught a little jab, but a complete left hook.
Yeah.
Burgos took it and kept standing like nothing was wrong. But within 3 to 5 seconds, all of a sudden his feet got wobbly, his eyes got big, and he just fell backwards. Like
Yeah.
it was a delayed knockout.
Yeah,
His
it
body
was.
just turned off.
It was very scary to watch.
It was.
Yeah.
It was really
it was
weird
so
to see.
weird. Like I thought the
And
guy
then, but
was
he got
kinda
up right afterwards, and he was fine. He didn't know what happened, but he was okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shane Burgos is another name because he's a young guy in that lightweight.
He
They fought at
can-
lightweight, right?
That dude, I think it was 145.
No, because I think we were saying Barboza used to fight at featherweight, but now he's a lightweight.
We'll have to check, but either
Definitely,
way, Burgos, whoever he fights next, they better watch out for that power. That dude's
Right,
got power.
Burgos has hands. He almost dropped Barboza a couple
Yeah.
times.
And Barboza's weathered bet. You
And
know?
that guy that faced Matt Schnell,
So Matt
Talk to him.
Schnell,
Rogerio Bontorin.
Bontorin, yeah,
yeah, Bontorin took the fight on short notice too.
Mhm. No, he took his last fight on short notice.
missed weight but
Oh,
still
okay.
fought and missed weight by. a
Or did he
pound now.
take this fight on short notice?
He
think it
did
was-
take it on short
Oh,
notice. It was like
okay.
3 or 4 weeks out, but he did take it. On short
Bontorin came out in a flurry in the third round. Had a great third round.
notice. Yeah.
Matt Schnell, honestly, I feel could have very easily beat him. He needs to change his form from I'm going to throw 4 punches straight and then just not do anything for a while.
We saw him throw such quick combos and then nothing.
He should do more of Justin Gaethje. I'm fast, tap tap.
Right.
I'm fast, tap tap.
Right.
Well, he did try to do that. Except Bontorin kind of was just He had more power.
He wasn't
More
utilizing
power.
his quick jab enough. That's the way I feel about it.
All right, so not to cut you guys off, but we're going to keep continuing. We got a couple more things to talk about UFC 262, and then we got a bunch to talk about upcoming. But for right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. So presenting to you by Odyssey Group International, their new concussion prevention drug, Prevacol.
Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells, and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion or you think a concussion has occurred.
The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, and I think we can make this game, our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.
All right, Dylan's joining us. Dylan is here. Mark, you are not in the camera right now, so we're going to have to slide this way. Chris, you're good there, but if Austin can slide, because now you're not in it, Chris. All right, there we go. Everybody's here, MMA Complete crew, besides Mike and Colby. Chris is now part of the crew. So we just talked about UFC 262. We just did the whole summary of UFC 262. Before we move on to anything else, give me your three thoughts of UFC 262.
Charles Oliveira, fucking way better than I thought. Way better.
Yeah, he has music playing.
Music shit. I'm sorry.
Oh no! I'm gonna have to run and grab my charger. You guys
Chandler gonna have to prove himself a lot more than I think he thinks, and a lot of fans think. He's gonna go through a couple contenders before he gets another one.
Yeah, I think at least 2.
Yeah,
that's me. And
can I say
I hate Dariush?
Oh, fuck that.
He was quite boring to watch, but a good striker wrestler like Dustin Poirier or even Charles Oliveira will really make that guy need to improve in his stand-up, because Charlie can beat him. He can totally beat him on the ground.
Beat him on the ground. Yeah. I would give that fight to Charles Oliveira. And I also think, I think Charles Oliveira is definitely beatable on the feet, and we saw that in the first round. I guess Chin is not the strongest in the division.
He's got good head movement, but
Connor could beat him
standing. If he stays standing with Connor,
Poirier.
I think Poirier could do it too.
I think he could beat him.
Yeah.
I think he stuffs. I think he stuffs the takedown and boxes up Oliveira. That's a big possibility with Poirier.
Yeah.
I liked what you just said. I hate to cut you guys off, but I love what you just said about how Oliveira is definitely beatable standing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you just said?
Yeah.
I completely agree.
I think he's very beatable standing, and I think
Chandler would have beaten him if he didn't jump into it in the second round because he thought he had
it.
If he would have kept to his rhythm.
If he stayed poised like he opened up in the second round, all day, Chandler, all day. And it's not even...
Have you looked at Chandler's combination when he did that? It's really weird. You looked at it? You might have.
When he rocked Oliveira?
When Oliveira rocked him.
Oh,
he comes in and he comes in so fast and so hard.
Yeah,
to the body, and he leaves himself right open.
Yeah.
So what that was, he was throwing at the body because Oliveira had very good head movement. For a guy like McGregor with more speed than Chandler and less distance to close and just more power altogether, a guy like Conor, I don't think he'll be able to have Conor swinging for his body like that. Chandler had to swing for the body because he couldn't connect with the head some of those punches.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of why Chandler got knocked out. He got countered perfectly.
See, I think you guys are saying Poirier is a good matchup. I think Poirier is the best matchup. I mean, Khabib's the best matchup.
I think
But I
Khabib
think
is.
Poirier is a great matchup.
Oh, Khabib.
I would love to
think
see Khabib versus Oliveira. I would love to see it.
So far deserves it more than Justin Gaethje.
He needs to win
I
one
agree with
fight.
you. I agree with you that
You all
Gaethje
agree.
deserves it the most. I think Poirier's right up there, though. And if he beats Conor again, I think that Poirier does deserve it more.
Poirier wants to fight Conor. Who's
He's gonna
number
fight Conor.
5?
He wants
He's
to
gonna
make
fight
that
Six.
cash money. That's what
I think he might
wants.
be 5
It's
now that
money.
Tony dropped.
Yeah.
Poirier is the number 1 contender, and he is. He's told the press that he does not want the championship. He wants money.
Right. That's
So
why he
Give
has
it
the
to
hot
next
sauce.
guy.
I got
Give it to the next guy.
I
Who's
got-
the next guy?
I got Conor over Poirier. I'm telling you.
The next guy.
Before
that's
we get into that,
available
before we get
right
into
now.
that, I don't think Gaethje can beat Oliveira. I don't think he can. I think his style is so wild that he's going to end up on the ground so much, and he's not going to be able to stay on the ground with Oliveira. You know what I mean?
You could knock him out in the first
Chandler
round.
has a great base, not only on the ground but standing because of his wrestler. So when it goes for a takedown, yeah, Oliveira took him down, but he still has a great base, and he's not throwing wild shots. Gaethje's going to throw wild shots and get taken down right away.
He might fight like Tony, but that slow build-up pace where he'll end up just destroying you with a barrage of punches. I don't think that can work on Chandler. I mean, on Oliveira, because he has that fallback of, I'll take you to the ground and I'll control you there and I'll ruin your fucking day.
Right. I mean, we say this about all the wrestlers, but if they can withstand 2 rounds or 2 takedowns, then they have a chance, and I don't know if he can.
I don't think so. I don't think he can.
Real quick, we're going to take one more commercial break, brought to you by Odyssey Group International, the drug Prevacol, the newest concussion prevention drug. Odyssey Group International.
Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells, and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion or you think a concussion has occurred.
Yeah.
The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, and I think we can make this game, our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.
Knock on wood.
All right, so that was UFC 262. Dylan didn't give me his 3 thoughts, but that was my part because I had to leave. You gave me Oliveira is better than you thought.
Chandler's going to have to prove himself. And
I want different fights. I want different fights.
I hate Dariush.
Hate Dariush is 2. Give me one more. Give me something about Edson Barboza winning or Jacare breaking his arm.
It's dumb. Both of them were.
All right, so that was UFC 262.
Because even Barboza, the guy who fought Barboza? All right, I got you.
Burgos.
Dude, he fucking fought a good match.
He is going to be serious.
Barboza did fight a
Shane
good match.
Burgos.
I call
Really,
him.
I
Shane
think that was a
Burgos.
fluke. He might have hit some kind of thing in his eye that made him go out.
Yeah, the knockout
Yeah.
was so weird.
Yeah,
I think it was a fluke though, because he was right there. I mean, not right there, but
I think anybody with good
Good
leg
fight.
kicks has a shot, dude. And he's
Well,
a shot.
low kicks,
But Burgos
they've
ate
been
so
part of the
many
game.
leg kicks. Burgos ate so many.
You got to check those. That's the only way to
Absolutely.
defeat a Barboza style.
And you know what? He's only 26. He still has time to get that into his arsenal.
Oh yeah, he did very good against Barboza compared to. what he would have.
All right, so we
Very
start
good-looking Barboza.
the countdown for UFC 263. June 12th, main evented by Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori. Co-main evented by Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueiredo 2 for the flyweight title.
That's going to be a crazy fight.
And then co-main evented by Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
In the fourth fight of that pay-per-view, we have Bilal Muhammad versus Damian Maia.
Bilal Muhammad finally getting a fight.
We're going to talk about each of those coming forward. I just wanted to give us a grasp of what we're going to be talking about because I want to talk about this fight night next.
Okay.
So fight night 198, whatever the fuck it is.
Mm.
Main evented by Cody Garbrandt versus Rob Font. I don't know who I got in this fight.
You know,
I stand with Cody.
Drops to the torch.
Rob's done it. Remember when Rob did it?
Yeah. Well, we talked about this.
No, we talked about
Heart says Cody.
Mhm.
Head says Font.
Cody's still young.
He is. Cody's
Young,
only like
man.
28.
Young.
What is Sandhagen Dillashaw?
That was supposed to be 2 weeks ago. It got canceled. Dillashaw had to pull out.
I think it's in July. I think it just got rescheduled.
Did it? I would love to know that.
What happened to him again? Did he
I have no idea.
break a collarbone?
No idea. I don't think it was anything that
Dillashaw
serious.
got,
I thought it was COVID.
Dillashaw got fucked up. I'm
Oh.
pretty sure he got hurt.
Oh,
or
he got
something.
a cut right above his eye. Yeah,
Yes, that's what it was.
that's a bitch in
Yeah.
training.
Yep.
That's a bitch.
So that fight, still looking forward to. But the Font Garbrandt fight intrigues me.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's why I want to say Font. Font's also young. Font's up and coming. Font beat Marlon Moraes, and I believe he beat Aljamain Sterling in his last 2 of his last 3 fights.
Font?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
No.
gonna have to relook that one up.
I could be completely wrong. I thought that's what it was. Oh, my phone's up
I'll
there.
check
Can
it
you?
back.
Rice
So Garbrandt.
Hasn't-
Here's the thing, though.
didn't lose before Sandhagen.
Here's the
No.
thing, though. Cody Garbrandt has won 1 of his last 4
He
fights.
beat Marlon Moraes. Rob Font has beat Marlon Moraes.
Yep.
Sergio Pettis, and then these guys.
Might have to
He beat Matt Schnell.
sweat.
Oh,
this
so
out.
Rob Font lost to Rafael Assunção. And Cody Garbrandt is coming off a win against Rafael Assunção.
If Cody Garbrandt has improved and he's fast and he keeps good head movement like he has in his previous fights, it's gonna be Cody Garbrandt.
He is
all the way.
coming off a bad case of COVID. And yes, I know it was 7, 8, 9 months ago, but that might affect him. Probably not, but it could. Cody Garbrandt has only won 1 of his last 4 fights. And it was a out of nowhere knockout against a 37-year-old Rafael Assunção.
Have you watched the fight? I have not.
Garbrandt and Assunção?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Was it?
Assunção might have won the first, but if he didn't, Garbrandt won both rounds on points. But that was the fight that Garbrandt won in literally the last second of round 2.
Well, Assunção was pressuring him the whole time.
He was. But Garbrandt was doing really good with counters. Garbrandt's head movement is one of the best in the UFC.
It is. It's
Have
so
you ever
good.
seen that clip of Dominic Cruz trying to hit him and he does the fucking robot?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Yeah.
Cody Garbrandt is on another level for head movement.
I don't know, dude.
It's such a close fight that I don't want to pick either one. But
Yeah,
here's
we're
the
not
ones
touching
I want to pick.
Yeah.
Here are the fights that I want to pick. Jack Hermanson is going to destroy Edmund Shabazian. I'm so sure of this. I'm so sure of this.
Okay.
Yan Xiaonan
Is
is
this a
going to beat Carla Esparza.
Is this a Schnell situation?
No.
Okay, because it's almost the same number.
Schnell's less credible than Jack Hermanson.
We should put that bet
Absolutely.
in. We should
Schnell
put
put up
that.
a fight.
All right.
He did.
Do you
but
think the
he's
number is
just-
going to go down for
he's not-
Hermanson
he's
closer
not
to the fight?
experienced enough. I feel like.
People have been betting Shabazian.
He's still young too.
So
that's
I don't
good.
know.
Should we keep our?
Yes, I think that's something to really keep our eyes on.
If it goes up 5 points,
I'm going to
Bet it.
check before I go to work tomorrow. And I will bet before work and I will let you know if it hasn't. And if it has, then I will wait till Saturday.
bingo. Okay, we're on the same page.
All right, so Jack Hermanson's fighting Edmund Shabazian. Jack Hermansson is now ranked 6th because of he had a defeat. He lost to Marvin Vettori,
Who is
in
going up for
February?
the title?
He's going up for the title.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. So I could have backwards logic in this fight, but this is how I see this. Hermansson fought Vettori.
Yeah.
Vettori took it on 2 weeks' notice.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Hermansson was preparing for Darren Till.
Totally different fight.
Totally different
Yeah.
fight. Darren Till's stand-up. Vittori's a wrestler.
Yeah, straight.
Hermansson's
wrestler.
a great wrestler, but he was training stand-up, I'm sure, for that whole fight. And then
Mhm.
Vettori comes in, goes 5 rounds with him.
Yeah.
As Vettori,
As
lost
Vettori does.
since Adesanya. And honestly, did he?
Well, he
before Adesanya.
That's really good to look up too. Can you look up Vettori's record?
You think Vettori could beat him, right? I think we talked about this.
You think Vettori could beat Adesanya?
I think he can. I think he does.
I thought someone said that they thought.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he takes him down
odds for it
and smothers him.
It's actually, it's not as good as I would have thought, but it's pretty good odds if you want to bet Vettori.
Adesanya's fight with Vettori before.
A couple weird losses.
Ooh,
I think they won.
no! All right, so check this out, guys. Check this out.
Yeah.
So since that was Vettori, yeah. So since 2017, Vettori lost to Omari Akhmedov, who's a good fighter, and then he lost to Adesanya.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, he's beaten Diego Ferreira. Who is that?
That's
Andrew Sanchez.
That's Cesar Ferreira.
Cesar Ferreira, Andrew Sanchez, Carl Roberson, Jack Hermanson, and Kevin Holland.
Okay.
Two pretty reputable wins.
The Kevin Holland fight, I do not really count.
No,
Kevin Holland came in short notice after losing to a wrestler and then got wrestled for 5 more rounds.
Yeah, Kevin Holland
that fight doesn't
needs
really,
to bring his fundamentals
really
back.
count.
Yeah,
but he beat Jack Hermanson on 2 weeks' notice.
I have a lot of faith in Kevin Holland. Wanna know why?
I do. I think he can come back.
His comeback
Crawford training camp.
Want to know his coaches?
Who?
His
Trevor
striking
Whitman.
coach, Trevor Whitman.
Yeah,
He doesn't listen to him.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So
Can I close this a little bit?
not all the way.
Why?
Yeah. So I love Whitman, but I don't think. Now, were we saying Vettori?
Vettori, yeah.
Vettori is Whitman's.
No, it's
No,
It's
Kevin
Kevin
Holland
Holland.
is Trevor Whitman's.
Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, Kevin Holland kind of has that Justin Gaethje in him.
he does. And if he can get if he hammers wrestling defense, Kevin Holland's good. Kevin Holland's real
Kevin
good.
Holland is really good. If he can stop takedowns, he's going to be
His
really
striking
good.
is good, and I really think he's a possible future contender.
Yeah,
Is a future contender.
Let's put it this way.
He's got the hype
Kevin Holland's kryptonite is a wrestler, right?
for now.
So how does Kevin Holland versus Israel Adesanya go?
Oh, Izzy's so much.
Yeah,
more
is he? Is he?
Is he so much? He's so much more technical than everybody.
Well,
that's not a question.
Leg kicks. Zach,
literally,
leg kicks.
Holland has the hands.
And he's got legs.
Adesanya has the feet.
Here's
And
another
when
thing.
you have
Here's
four
another
leg-
thing, though.
And the
Adesanya
hands.
has the reach against everybody, right? Adesanya has no advantage against Kevin
He's got the
Holland.
reach
It's
with
the
his
same
legs.
exact reach.
He's got the reach with his legs.
I'm not saying that Holland is equivalent to Adesanya's skill level because Adesanya is the best kickboxer we've ever seen in the MMA.
Oh,
in
yeah.
MMA,
Yeah.
swear to God, best.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But the fact that he's never gotten knocked down, the fact that he has great striking, he has good reach and awkward angles. He was on the ground and he knocked someone out. I'm just saying, Kevin Holland.
Could get
I
that weird.
like against Adesanya.
that
I wouldn't
weird
pick him,
matchup.
but I like him.
Depends what the number is. I would put money on
I'd
Kevin
watch that
Holland.
fight
If he's-
because it'd be
if he's
entertaining.
right, well, we can't say it, but you know.
fire with fire.
Yeah, I guess.
Holland's got good hands, but you know, like Adesanya's got four.
So
good
you
limbs.
see Vettori beating Adesanya, huh?
I see him smothering him.
Yeah.
I really do. And you know, let's see how much Adesanya can improve. But Vettori's style is just—it's literally grab, hug, pull down, hit a couple times. He doesn't have good hands. He's a brawler style.
Right.
But
if he can take down, we just saw Jan Blachowicz beat Adesanya, but take him to the ground.
and on top of it, Marvin Vettori weighs 215 pounds.
Here's another thing to think about.
Yeah.
Marvin Vettori took a short notice fight against Jack Hermanson and went 5 rounds, complete, didn't run out of gas.
Yeah, crazy.
You know, we're not going to see him fight Adesanya and lose gas in the 3rd round. That's not going to happen.
No, unless he gets rocked a lot. But
Right.
that's all if he can
But,
get the
you know,
takedowns. If
Game
he
plan is
can't,
everything until you get punched in the face anyway.
exactly.
Yeah. Who'd you just quote? That's
I
definitely
think
Mike
that's
Bisping.
Nate Diaz. I think it's
Everything's cool until you get punched in the
No.
face.
No,
That's
you
definitely
can-
Mike Bisping.
It might be.
I think you can it's something about like your life's training means a lot until you get punched in the face.
Yeah,
It's
something like that.
a lot of people have that quote. We're going to take another quick commercial break. So brought to you by Odyssey Sports Group International, their new drug Prevacol, concussion prevention.
It's the same thing that
Pharmaceutical company Prevacus says their new concussion medication Prevacol helps repair nerves and promote cell growth.
We can get the drug in the brain in less than 5 minutes. And our plan is when we get that diagnosis on the field of play, give the drug nasally, get it in the brain quickly. When it gets in the brain, it actually gets into the nucleus of your brain cells and it reduces swelling, inflammation, and oxidative stress at the same time.
When Jake and I first talked about this many years ago, one of my first questions was, will this help me? And he goes, no, this is for treatment immediately when a concussion or you think a concussion has occurred.
Yeah.
The acute problems that exist later on in life, if we can take care of these at an early age and start getting some of these things to our children and grandchildren, and I think we can make this game, our game, football, a safer place.
And so the whole goal is we're trying to make the game safer. And so Odyssey and this drug, we believe, can be a game changer in so many different ways. Yes, on the football field, in the game of football, because that's where my passion lies, but also in the game of life.
And he broke his leg.
Oh yeah,
Chris Weidman.
So what? We're at 2 pay-per-views in a row with someone have gotten a serious broken leg.
Yeah, dude,
2
Jacare
pay-per-views in a row.
and Chris Weidman.
Who's going to be for 263? Can we make that prop?
How can I bet?
Can we make that prop
and
bet?
still make more bets?
I'll make that.
Can we make that a prop bet?
What?
Who's going to break a limb in UFC 263
No.
Who's going to break a limb, or will there be?
Will there
No,
be? It would be will.
Well, there's been one in 261 and 262 now. So will there be one in 263?
Might as well keep it going.
There was 2 in 262 or 261.
Yeah, but it wasn't a broken limb. It was just like he fucked up his leg. He tore his ACL and MCL. That's not a broken.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
You looked at, oh.
Jimmy Crute.
Poor Jimmy Crute. That's a tough bastard.
He tried to fight on it too. He was going to.
He's like, let's go. Yeah, he was ready.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, let's go.
Yeah, falling down.
So funny.
They're like, no, man, it's over.
All right, so we got a couple other fights we could talk about. So we just talked about Fight Night coming up this weekend. Next weekend, May 29th, there's no fights.
No, we just talked about Jack Hermanson. We just got that out of the way.
Yeah.
You just said he was a total lock.
Right.
Okay, and we talked about Cody Garbrandt and Font.
Yeah.
So, Jan.
Ooh.
The chick.
Not Piotr Jan.
Yeah.
Jan Janan.
Yeah.
Jan Janot.
Versus Carlos Esparza.
75% takedown accuracy.
Yep.
Stuffing. Defense. Sorry, I should have said that different. Defense. 75% striking accuracy in all her fights. And she has I think, if I'm correct, she has a plus for punches and punches taken. She has like a plus.
She's landed more strikes than she's been absorbed.
Yeah. And who's this other chick?
Carlos Esparza.
Carlos Esparza is negative in that category.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's also important. And Jan, I think, is the future of this division.
Yeah, Jan has had a lot of good fights where she's just dominated people.
Yeah.
Women's flyweight.
Esparza is coming off of 3 wins in a row on split decision. And
4 wins in a row, 3 by split decision.
Wow.
Jan,
the 4th win was a unanimous decision.
Jan is 6 by unanimous decision in a row.
In the UFC. She's 13-1 record total, and she's won all 6 of her UFC fights. So I don't know if she's on a bigger win streak in another organization, but in the UFC, 6-fight win streak, all by unanimous decision.
Yeah, this fight is not close than what the numbers are saying. I really think Jan dominates.
I think you're wrong, but I think you're right because I think Xiaonan's going to win. But I do think that Esparza is going to have a great chance.
What is Esparza's style?
Wrestler.
Yeah.
Xiaonan has great wrestling ability, but I think in her style, she's shown more striking.
Yeah.
So Esparza is also the veteran.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Reach
both
advantage?
have the same reach.
Same
Jan
reach.
31. Esparza 33.
Esparza's 3 inches shorter than Xiaonan.
Yeah, Esparza's 18-6. I really like Jan, and I think last fight we saw her ground game, and it was good.
Yeah, I think she just had an all-around fight last fight. And
yeah,
I can't remember who the last person she's fought, but she's had some.
She beat good submissions.
She beat Carolina Kowalkiewicz, and I can't remember who her last fight was against. Kowalkiewicz was 2 fights ago.
Yeah. Fighting out of China. So
China.
But yeah, Yan Xiaonan and Jack Hermanson this weekend.
Fighting each other. Gonna be
put the key in, lock it up.
Who's the girl
that just chuck that?
Yeah, I agree. Who's the girl that just lost to Thug Rose?
Oh, that's
also from China.
Yeah,
also from China. Possible fight match, her versus her.
Unless they're in the same camp, then they might not want to fight each other.
Who knows if China wants to do that?
I think that's a future matchup right
I think that goes against. The,
Well, Zhang is also a weight class
unification
below
of
Zhao Nan.
5-year plan.
there. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
So Jan Tapology. Let's see. I think it shows how many people are betting on it. But
Needs
anyway,
Aljo
that's
in the
besides
face.
point.
Right. So that's who we like this weekend. We like Zhao Nan and Hermanson, and I am leaning towards Fon, but not heavily.
Yeah. And that Bulil guy. What?
Bilal Muhammad.
So that's 263.
No.
But real
not
quick,
that, not that.
June 5th, fight night, main evented by Jairzinho Rosenstrike versus Augusto Sakai.
Ooh.
Jairzinho Rosenstrike, a former top 3 contender in the heavyweight division. I think he's now number 5 or 6.
I like him when he doesn't gas.
When he doesn't gas, when he doesn't get knocked the fuck out in the first 2 minutes. I love Jairzinho Rosenstrike. This is the guy that we just saw Cyril Gain dominate.
Yeah.
Cyril
Bill
Gaines for
Alagio.
real. This guy is from Fall River.
Cyril Gain is not from Fall River.
Rosenstruck is.
No, he's
No,
not.
that's De Castro.
That's De Castro.
Sorry.
Jorgen De Castro.
Actually,
right?
speaking of Cyril Gain,
Cyril Gaines.
can you look that up real quick? Cyril
Legit.
Gain is fighting soon. Cyril Gain is fighting in like 263 or
Oh, he's
264.
fighting
Can't remember.
big boy. Struve.
Not Stefan
No, not
Struve. No,
Stefan
no
Struve.
way.
He retired, didn't he?
No.
I don't know.
I think
Volkanov. No, Volk.
he's not fighting Volkan Ozdemir.
Volk.
Oh, on
Volkov.
Alexander Volkov.
Alexander
That's
Volkov.
who it is. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a really good fight. Volkov is so lengthy and wrestler, and then you got Cyril Gain, who's just such a great stand-up artist.
Just a
Gaines is
bull.
for real.
Gain's 7-0.
Yeah.
Gain is totally for real.
He just beat Jairzinho Rosenstrike,
And he's
Junior
fighting
Dos
next to Alexander
Santos,
Volkov.
Tanner Bozer, Dontel Myers.
Mm-hmm.
All good guys. Like, those are all credible, by
Right.
the way.
By the way, Tanner Bozer's fighting Ilir Latifi in 2 weeks,
I've never heard of Ilir Latifi.
but he's
We-
probably gonna win.
We don't bet on Tanner
We
Bozer
don't bet
anymore.
on Tanner Bozer anymore. Absolutely
But
not.
I think Tanner Bozer's got that.
About Tanner Bozer.
Tanner Bozer
Definitely
Love
don't
you,
bet on
though.
Tanner
yeah,
Bozer.
was not worth
No,
the
don't.
worth the
Absolutely
risk.
not.
No, don't bet. Don't choose it.
All right, so real quick, because we're on the road to 263,
Yep.
Adesanya Vittori.
Yep.
Who you got?
Vittori.
Adesanya.
Adesanya Vittori. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Are we bothering you?
Adesanya.
Are we
His name's like
bothering you?
Kanye.
Me.
Adesanya Vittori.
I will step in the ring. Yeah.
Adesanya Vittori.
Adesanya. Are you stupid?
Figueiredo Moreno.
Figueiredo.
Actually, though.
Figueiredo.
That's gonna be a banger, though. I'm looking forward to that.
What's Adesanya?
Yeah, I'm going against.
I think Figueiredo finishes it early. I do. I
Yeah,
think he's going
I
to be
do.
better
I do
this time,
too.
and I think he's going to finish it early.
I think you guys doubt the assassin, baby. I think he
Leon Edwards, Nate
is much better
Diaz.
than you guys think.
You got Nate Diaz, Chris?
Yeah.
All right.
I might have Leon Edwards. I think I got
I go
Leon
Leon Edwards, but you know who I'm.
Dude, I think
Nate
I
Diaz
have
could
Nate
win.
Diaz. I think I have Nate Diaz.
I'm
And
hoping.
Nate Diaz,
I'm hoping. I'm a Nate Diaz
Have
fan.
you
Oh,
seen
I'm
the
hoping
odds?
too.
No.
dude, Nate Diaz is such a huge underdog. It's crazy. Crazy.
Like
Crazy.
that.
Plus.
Like that.
Like that.
Against
Like that.
That might
Lewis?
be worth some of your
Against Leon
investment.
Edwards.
Wow.
And then Damian Maia versus Bilal Muhammad. Damian Maia still fighting, by the way.
Nate Diaz has honestly built a fan base by just getting his ass beat by like wicked good dudes.
That's scary, bro.
Just
That's so
continuing to
scary.
Yeah.
That is so scary.
Slapping,
I
flipping
don't
off.
know.
I'm sorry. He just showed me a crazy bet we're gonna have to talk about after this. But go on. What did you just say?
We're talking about how Nate Diaz has built up just a fan base by
Diaz,
just losing
That's them
and
taking- oh, wait, no,
not
it's a
fucking
different one.
shutting
That's a
up
different
during it.
Oh, is it different?
But yeah, I like that honestly.
But here's what I wanted to talk about: Bilal Muhammad versus Damian Maia. You know Damian Maia, obviously. You know
Yeah,
Damian
he's
Maia, right?
old now.
I know.
So old.
But here's the
Not
thing:
500.
if Bilal Muhammad goes to the ground with Damian Maia is going to wipe the floor with him.
You think he can get that takedown? Damian Maia's more like jiu-jitsu practitioner.
It might be like a Jacare Muniz thing where he just, or not even Muniz, Kevin Holland, where
Ooh.
look at who it is. Look at who it is.
Holy moly.
That's Jan and Hermanson, and then
You see, take Izzy out of there.
no, don't take Izzy. Keep Izzy in there.
I'm telling you,
No,
I think
all right,
Izzy,
what if we do? Take
I think Izzy
out?
gets put out like on like 5-round decision again.
All right, well, This is
All right,
about
hang on.
it for
Let's
MMA
see.
Complete
What is
Podcast, episode 47. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to be back next Thursday night at 8 p.m. Also, check out Bet the Deed podcast every Thursday night at 7 p.m. We go back to back. Check out Naked Sports on YouTube and check out Fans Only Sports on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Snapchat, Tinder,
Everything.
all that
MySpace,
shit.
AIM.
All that shit. Also, big thank you to Odyssey Sports
Tumblr.
Group International, our first sponsor on the show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will be live next week. Also, make sure you check us
Everyone's
out.
tuning in towards the end. What
Also,
the
make sure you tune in every pay-per-view. We go live from about 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. for the whole main card plus prelims usually for every pay-per-view. So come check out UFC 263 on June 12th when we live stream that. And then check out Bet the Deed and MMA Complete Podcast every Thursday night, 7 through 9 p.m.
Might come live stream this fight night if we're
If you we might be live streaming every fight night. So you gotta search for us on Saturday. We'll be doing it.
MMA Complete.
MMA Complete Podcast. Thank you, Chris, for coming, joining the crew.
Thank you, Chris.
Big looks, Chris. Thank you, boys, for coming through always. We will be live next Saturday, or we will be live on the fight night. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're out of here.